Well, hey, seventh graders. Hope you are doing well. All right, it's Friday. Let's get started. So, you are in your Google Classroom, which is awesome. And we are still continuing on with arguing. So, on Tuesday, nope, Wednesday, sorry. On Wednesday, we practiced arguing whether or not a hot dog was a sandwich. And we went over the different parts of an argument, which is the claim, the reasons, and the evidence. So then we went over our claim and our reason, and we've kind of gone over evidence, and we will continue to go over evidence. All right. So, first thing you'll need to open is your argument writing overview. So please open that up. You'll need to have that open while we are working. Argument writing overview. Okay. And so we started working with our evidence from the text we had already read. Leaving Main Street was one of them. Danger, this mission to Mars could bore you to death. Okay. And then we worked on that evidence to point out different reasons why we should or should not go to space. Then we started on the basic claim. We will add more to this claim later, but you decided if you're going to argue that we should spend valuable resources on space exploration or that we shouldn't. Okay, so we are done with our claim. And then we started our reasons, like, why do you think we should or should not? So you were supposed to be giving 2 reasons why we should or 2 reasons why we should not. So we'll be discussing these reasons in cohort today. So hopefully, make sure that you have tried to fill in 2 reasons. Remember, we created that giant list of reasons, so you can always use those. All right, so now we are down to here. So you're going to write your 2 reasons, and then we need to get some evidence in here. And then, so you'll give the title, and then you're going to find a quote. And is it credible or not? Well, we'll go over whether or not these articles are credible or not. So no worries, I'm going to walk you through it. Okay, so that's where we are. We're looking for some more evidence to support your claim. Now, in the Google Classroom, I gave you an article for space exploration and an article against space exploration, and I asked you to start reading those. Now, if you have decided that you are arguing that we should, then that's your article here. And if you've decided that we shouldn't, this is your article. But don't forget, we also have our counterclaim in here. So you're going to need a reason that supports the opposite of what you're arguing. Okay, and we're going to talk more about that. So you actually need to read both of the articles so that you can get your reasons and your evidence here, and so you can get your counterclaim. So we are going to read both articles, but we are going to start with the article for space exploration. So that's the one we're going to start on today. And then on Tuesday, we're going to work on the articles against space exploration. So we're going to start with this one. So if you would please open that up. I put the link in there this time because I looked at that and I was like, so I opened up 9 good reasons. So if you would please, you can, you're going to work out of this one. Okay. But I put the link in there as well. So we're going to talk about that here in a second. But here is the 9 good reasons. Open the document up. It'll look like this. Okay. So the reason I'm having you open this one up is so you can edit on it. Like you can write comments on it and annotate like we're used to. So you can do that on here, but I included the website so you could see whether or not it's a credible source. So we could talk more about that here in a bit. But at first I was like, I don't think that's a very good source. And then I went to the website and I was like, oh, no, he is. This is a really good website. Usually blogs are not. But If you look who the author is, Ryan Anderson, he's actually a planetary geologist. So, for the United States Geological Survey in Flagstaff, Arizona. So he knows what he's talking about. So, anyways, this is the article we're going to be working out of 9 good reasons for space exploration. Okay, so, but we're going to be working on it on the Google Doc so that you can edit. Okay, so everybody's screen should look like mine, and you need to have yours open. So, you should be finding some reasons why we should go to space because you're either going to need it to prove your argument or your counterclaim. Okay, I'm going to read through this with you to make sure that we're all on the same page, and you should be annotating. Okay, all right, so this was written in 2008. It's not the most up to date, but hey, that's not too bad. Ryan Anderson, we went over, he seems pretty credible, and the title is 9 Good Reasons for Space Exploration. All right, so you guys ready to annotate? Advocates of space exploration often get asked the question, why should we spend money on NASA where there are so many problems here on Earth? Universe Today has been compiling a list of responses to the question for space bloggers from across the web. Check it out, there are some great answers. In response to Universe Today's call for answers, we decided to compile a list of our top reasons that space exploration is a worthwhile endeavor. I encourage everyone to read The Case for Space Exploration, a collection of essays and articles put together by the Space Foundation. So if you guys are wanting some more resources, here are more resources available for you. All right, so here is the list. Number 1, perspective. As our telescopes probe the depths of space and time, and our spacecraft missions reveal the scale and diversity of worlds, even within our solar systems, we are provided with a humbling sense of our place in the universe. Okay, so it's ginormous. Number 2, protecting and understanding our world. NASA's Earth Science Division helps us understand the fantastically complex world that we live on. Studying other worlds like Venus and Mars teaches us how special our planet is and provides sobering examples of how the climates of planets can change. NASA-funded research scans the skies for dangerous asteroids, and missions to asteroids teach us how we might be able to divert them from a collision course should the need arise. So they're figuring out, what do we do if an asteroid starts coming toward Earth? Number 3, inspiration. The Apollo missions inspired an entire generation of students to pursue math and science careers. As our society becomes more technologically dependent, the populace needs to become scientifically literate to keep up. Telling students that you could be the first astronaut on Mars or you could be the one driving the next Mars rover is a pretty effective way of inspiring them to study science and math. 4, the economy. NASA does not launch buckets of cash into space. The majority of the money spent on space exploration goes towards the salaries of thousands of skilled American workers who make NASA's mission so successful. So there's lots of people who have to work on all of those things that go into it. All right, so they pay lots of skilled workers. All right, number 5, exploration. To be human is to be an explorer. It is part of who we are. Since the first tribes left the African savanna and spread into Europe and Asia, we have had the need to explore the unknown. Now, humans have visited or settled every corner of the globe. The instinct to explore is still active, but there are very few outlets. Some people seek out extreme or exotic places to satisfy this need, risking their lives to do so. Others look to the skies. It may be an old cliche, but Star Trek had it right. Space is the final frontier, and it calls for the explorer in all of us. Number 6, new technology. Space exploration brings together a lot of smart people from many different fields and puts them to work on some very difficult problems. The result is not only fantastic scientific discoveries, but also many useful inventions, from healthier baby food to technology to better diagnose breast cancer to farther flying golf balls. NASA technology is all around you. Number 7, answering the big questions. How did life begin? How did the universe begin? How was our world created? Are we alone? These questions and others have been asked by every generation since the dawn of time. That we can even ask them is a testament to the power of the human brain. Now, because we are smart enough and bold enough to explore the universe, we are finding the answers. In the words of Carl Sagan, we are star stuff contemplating the stars. Number 8, international collaboration. Large space exploration projects are almost always the result of international cooperation. The International Space Station is the most obvious example, but the space shuttle regularly has astronauts from other nations, and many robotic missions include instruments built by teams in other countries. As NASA gears up to return to the moon, precursor mission from Japan, India, China, and Russia are already in orbit, are planned, or are under construction. Future human Mars missions will almost certainly involve multiple space agencies to spread the cost among several nations. Number 9, long term survival. As it stands, all of humanity's eggs are all in one small basket called Earth. It is only a matter of time before something happens to our planet that is so devastating that it changes the course of life as we know it. Whether the disaster is natural, like a rogue comet, or self inflicted, like nuclear war, it is possible that our home will no longer be habitable. What happens then? To all the accomplishments of the last 1,000 generations of humans? All of our art, our music, our literature, our science, even our very genes could be wiped out. Unless, of course, there are a few humans living elsewhere in the solar system. Space exploration and colonization of the moon and Mars are an insurance policy for humanity and all of our achievements. So that's what they came up with. They think that based on the reasons above, it is certainly worth it to spend 0.6% of the nation's budget, just six out of every $1,000 on NASA. They were interested in what they thought is the investment of NASA worth it. So when you go to their website, there are a few people that wrote their opinions, but that's not what we're worried about. We wanted to read what Ryan Anderson had to say because he knows what he is talking about. All right, so we have looked through this article, and you're either going to use the information in that article for your evidence, for your reasons here, or you're going to use it for your counterclaim. All right, so go through, figure out what evidence you need and where you need to put it, and we are going to discuss this in our cohorts. All right, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.